Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. I hope that the weather isn't getting to you wherever you are, whether it's the wildfires or the flooding. I know there was flooding down south, or the snow in the Midwest. Um, I don't really have a topic for tonight. Um, I've just been under a lot of anxiety, whatever. I really don't give a shit tonight. And I shouldn't probably make this video when I don't give a shit. But yeah, in my intro, in my description, I write that I am me. I'm unfiltered. I say what I want. Um, I don't edit. I don't pretend to be something I'm not. So what you see is what you get. And if you get me on a day that it's not a great day, well, I'm human. You know, I have mental illnesses and sometimes they get to me. A lot of times they get to me. Most of the time they get to me, but I try to cover it up. I always compare it to, the dogs that take a shit and then flick their back legs and try to cover it up. That's kind of what I compare my borderline personality disorder, my bipolar, my PTSD, and my ADD, and my IBS, and arthritis, and uh, I'm leaving some out just because it's so pathetic. I feel so pathetic being like this. You feel broken, you feel unaccepted, unacceptable. You just don't feel good enough for anything or anyone. Life is just tough. You hear that from normal people too. So does that make us all that much different? Maybe not. I know that a lot of people have mental illnesses, but like the dog, they try to cover it up and they succeed. Unfortunately, I don't know. I think I got a cold. I think I've had a cold for a while now. Whatever. But, I think a lot of people cover it up because of the stigma. You want to talk about the stigma? We've talked about it before, but we can talk about it again. People, I have a bad knee from a bad surgery, a bad knee replacement that no doctor down here will touch because a different doctor did it. So nobody can fix it unless I go back up where I had it done, and he's probably retired. So I'm pretty much fucked. So I guess I give a lot of credit to people who do have mental illnesses and that do, I don't want to say wear it on their sleeve, but they don't hide it. They're not ashamed of it for the simple fact of it's not our fault. We didn't ask for this, that's for sure. I'd rather be out there working. I'd rather be out there being productive, not sitting here making these videos that nobody gives a shit about. But anyway, that was pleasant, wasn't it? That's the borderline, the outbursts, the anger, the agitation, the irritation. That's the fun part, where you can't control it. You can try, you can control it to a degree. You can control it for a certain amount of time, but eventually it's like a volcano. You're just going to blow. You're just going to lose it. I try not to, but sometimes it just bottles up. It's like shaking up a bottle of soda or a can or whatever your choice of container is. And it's just going to go, and you get a mess. And who cleans up that mess? Your doctors? Yeah, that's fucking funny. think I see that bitch next week. She's so useless. And then where David goes, they keep telling me, you can come here, you can come here. And they're trying to get me to go there. And I want to go there, but when you make a little progress with one doctor, you hate to change. However, I really haven't made any progress with her. She's so useless. My therapist, he's barely out of diapers. He does, though, get me to think sometimes, and that's good. But I don't think he gets me to think enough, or maybe about the things that I want to, or I don't know. Maybe I'm just being bitchy. Um, there's a lot going on, and yeah, like that, you know how that feels. But a person can only handle so much, and me, I can handle a lot because I've been through a lot. But then a person can only handle so much. Did I say that already? I don't know. I'm so tired that on the way home from town, all of a sudden I start to not feel good. And I felt like I wasn't in my own body. I felt like I wasn't in my own head. I just felt really weird. I just, not faint or dizzy, just out of it. And I know it's from sleep deprivation, but when you have so much on your mind, you can't sleep. I fall asleep right here. And I wake up going, oh, Jesus, I hurt so bad. And then I'm like, oh, I guess I'll go to bed. And then I turn on my computer and I start looking at stuff on there, checking my YouTube, um, checking other stuff on YouTube that I like to watch, videos that I've saved to watch later, entertainment, because I take this so seriously, and it may not seem like it, but I do. And I put everything I have into it because I want it to be good. I want to feel like I'm worth something, like I'm helping somebody. And because I get views, I get a like here and there, I don't get a whole lot of feedback. I get a comment once in a while. And I'm not trying to be pathetic. I'm not looking for self-pity. I just, you just want that. I can't even think of it. You just want to know if you're doing anything for anybody. Am I helping anybody? I feel like I'm helping myself because I'm venting, and it feels good sometimes. Right now, my chest hurts. I don't think I know it's not a heart attack. I mean, it could be, but I don't think so. I just think it's anxiety. I already took a pill. I don't want to take another one because if I run out, oh, hell is going to just boil over if I would run out. She would have my head in a sling. She's one ratchety bitch. She just is not cut out for what she does. She has no compassion. She has no empathy. She just gives a shit about her 15 minutes of fame because she's on a TV screen. She thinks she owns you. I don't know why I stay. I guess I have hope that something's going to click in her fucking brain with me. And she's going to, I mean, she didn't even figure out that she can't just take me off Xanax cold turkey. I had to tell them that. And she had to get a second psychiatrist in for second opinion. And he even said, you can't do that. It's like, dipshit, you don't know that? Are you kidding me? So that was frustrating. And then, she only wants to see me every 3 months. It's like, well, what good is that going to do? How are you going to know how I'm doing? And I asked my therapist that. And he's like, well, that's what I'm for. So then he gives me the questions, the mental questions. Have you been sleeping too much or too little? Have you lost interest in things you normally, the mental questions that they like to ask you. Do you feel like hurting yourself? Do you feel like hurting somebody else? And it's just like, oh, so now a month or month and a half before I see her, you're asking me these questions? Ask these questions the day of. That's what my last ones did. They had me come in, get my weight, have me sit down, take my blood pressure, ask me those questions then. How are you feeling now? Not a month from now, not 3 months from now, but in this moment, in the past 2 weeks. And I think that's what he said, in the past 2 weeks. Well, when you have these mental illnesses, those 2 weeks, you can fluctuate like a fucking carnival. It's like you can be up here today and down here in an hour. You can be back up here the next day. And yeah, I have my scrunchie again. It seems to be something that I just am fiddling with because it kind of takes my mind off my surroundings and puts me in the moment. And, if you want to talk to your therapist about being in the moment, I guess it's being mindful of your surroundings, mindful of your life and what's going on. I always wanted to write a book, but a midget could use it as a prop to sit on in a Mini Cooper. And if any of you are short people, I don't mean any offense by that. It's just an analogy. And I probably insult people inadvertently because I have no self-control. I have so much self-control that I don't have self-control. Is that like an oxymoron? I'm thinking so. I love oxymorons. I like the opposites, like that. Find that interesting. I just don't have any. I don't have anything positive to say today. I guess I'm just not a good influence today. I'm trying and I'm scared, but I got some pinto beans and I put those in my pressure cooker and I cut up an onion and I put that in there and I put I don't know if it's a pound or a half a pound of diced ham and I put some seasoning in there and I threw some garlic in there and have it in my pressure cooker for an hour. I'm scared to death because it took a lot of water. And if you put too much water in it, yeah, you could have a volcano. We'll see. I hope it tastes good. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. I like macaroni and cheese. I make killer. I call it a fiesta macaroni and cheese. I make it in my pressure cooker. And You could do it in a regular pan. You don't need a pressure cooker. I just love my pressure cookers. And I haven't cooked a whole lot lately. And so I decided I was going to cook tonight. And he's sleeping on the couch. And I couldn't wake him up. And he had WWE on. And that would make me go to sleep really fast too. Whatever. That's his thing. So my Fiesta macaroni and cheese. I make it according to how I'm supposed to in the pressure cooker. And it comes out macaroni and cheese. And I add the Tostitos queso cheese to it. Stir that up, and that is some shit. That is good stuff. But are you kidding? I don't think you guys can hear it, but it's the train. David makes fun of me too. He's like, I swear you cannot do a video with something that happens. If it's not one thing, it's something else. I don't know if you can hear it or not. It's loud, but yeah. So hopefully Friday I get my new glasses. Hopefully tomorrow, and I should tomorrow, get my mealworms. I know the things I look forward to. Are you kidding? I lead such an exciting life. So we had money in the bank today, not anymore. And last month, I should say this month, the electric bill was so high that I wasn't really able to get all the groceries that I usually get. So I just got what would get us by. And we got some money. I don't like dishing our personal stuff, but he had more money than I did. So I started at Kroger, which is Pick and Save. It used to be Cops. And they have a Kroger down here. So I decided to try that out, and I was able to log in. Well, oh man, lo and behold, because it's Kroger and it's Pick and Save, I was able to use the same login information. And I went there to try to change my phone number, because if you go into the store and they want your rewards number or whatever, you use your phone number. Well, my phone number was wrong because it was my old phone number. So I tried to change it, and they had chat. I love chat because I don't got to talk to anybody. And, get somebody on that I can't understand. Yeah, I'm doing what I want tonight. I'm in the not give a fuck zone, okay? So it bugs me when I try to talk and my lips are dry. So I gave them my new number, and they're like, well, we already have an account with that number. And it's like, how is that possible? So I must have changed it when I first got down here. Kroger has got to be the worst site to go grocery shopping on, because it was $20 off your first $75. So I'm like, cool, But I already had 2 accounts, and when I was on chat, they ended up merging them, and it was really cool. And god damn, I am just a hot mess. So they ended up merging them, and that was cool. And I start shopping on there, and I hate their bullshit. You gotta buy 8 of these to get $1 off. You gotta buy 10 to get 10, or 10 for 10. You gotta buy 3 to get 5. I mean, and they just have a really shitty system. And I got partway through, and I'm like, honey, can you bring me a Xanax? I'm so pissed off at this site. So I ended up emptying my grocery cart and going back to Walmart because along the top it has the reorder, and you can just go to, dairy, and it shows you all the dairy that you've ordered in the past. And then you go to meat. I'm not saying really in this order, I'm just using it as an example. But you go to meat and it shows you all the meat you've ordered before, and you just go click, click, and just add it to your cart. You've got your pets, you've got your whatever, all the shit you order, vegetables, deli. I don't know if I have any deli. I thought I did. But your pets, your deodorant, your shampoo, whatever you order. So I went and I ordered all that stuff, and I'm like, I did it under $200 because I usually get close to 500, and that is more than half of my income alone. That's how expensive this shit is for us. Well, and probably for everybody. I don't know how people do it. And so we went and got groceries, and they were out of avocados, and I was kind of burned out on them, but I still kind of wanted one, and I forgot. Oh, that was yesterday, I think, that we were there. Oh, yesterday though, at that Walmart last night. No, it was like an hour after we left. They had a bomb threat. I was like, shit. And then when we went to go do pickup today, we asked the girl who was putting our groceries in the truck about the bomb threat. And she goes, yeah, I found out about it from a trucker this morning. And it's like, for real? They didn't evacuate? And she's like, no. And I thought I read in the article that they had to clear out the store. I guess there was a car in the parking lot that was suspicious. And I'm like, I think there was just a car parked there. Somebody thought it was suspicious, so they called the cops. But then where'd the bomb threat come in? I don't know. It was just fucked up because we feel pretty safe where we go. And then I asked David, I said, do we have like a false sense of security? Because everybody's so nice. And you go to the one east, that Walmart, the women carry their purse, cross, crossways. Can't think offhand what it's called. I know what it's called. My brain is all over the place right now. Crossbody. Figured it out. Or, they'll wear backpacks. I'm like, well, that's really stupid. Yeah, carry your wallet in your backpack and somebody just rip your backpack off you. Or quick unzip it and take your wallet or whatever. I don't know. I carry my purse. Actually, I take a scooter and just either put my purse in the basket or like sling it over the handlebars. I'm just naive, maybe. I just don't give a shit because there's no money in there, and he's got the cards, the bank cards. So I just don't worry about it. But sometimes I take my purse. I don't really know why. I just do. I hate purses. I like pockets. I'm a pocket holic. Anyway, where else can I go with this? Echo's still hibernating. It's breaking my heart. That's my boy. And my fat ass girl, Sonic. She paces and paces. And I'm like, what is your problem? God. She's right next to me when I'm sitting in my recliner downstairs. And you hear scratch, 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 scratch. What are you doing, So I open it and I pick her up and I put her on the floor. And then she just kind of scoots around and, she just fucks around and finds odd places to fall asleep. I got an itch. I know I'm so mature. I don't want to be mature. I don't want an adult today. So anyway, yeah, she finds really peculiar places to fall asleep. So I have to kind of keep an eye on her. And I haven't lost her yet. I haven't lost any of my bearded dragons yet. I let them out all the time. I wait till they're a certain age, though, like a year old, because then they're bigger and they're easier to find. And then we were coming back from Walmart, and there's a Kohl's, and there's PetSmart. And like, I'm on the website looking to see if the bearded dragons are on sale. Well, of course they are, because I'm looking. And I'm like, oh, we already went past. And he's like, what? And I said, PetSmart. And he's like, well, do you want me to turn around? You don't offer me that. Are you crazy? And I said, well, what do you have, for building materials? Because he builds the enclosures. He's like, well, I really don't have anything. And I said, well, I have a little bit of money in my bank account. You could probably use that and be able to make another one. And he's like, well, I still have, because when you get the babies, they're about as big as your finger. I mean, to me, it's that big. They're that little. You always try to get the biggest one. But, and he's like, well, I can turn around. And I said, well, do you have enough to build an enclosure? And he's like, no. I said, well, what are we supposed to do? Well, I still have the piece of wood because we had it where we took Sonic's cage and put a divider in it and put Java in the other side. So we had, I don't know why my eyebrow itches so much. They say when your palm itches, you're supposed to be coming into money. When your when your right foot itches, that means you're going to be going down a path that you've already gone down. If your left foot itches, that means you're going to be going down a new path. This is just shit that I've learned. Crazy. We didn't talk about, get off topic. My therapist says that's a borderline personality disorder. And I guess I've graduated to it because I'm really good at it. Anyway, so he said, he still had that piece of wood that he could divide them. And I'm like, you don't encourage me. I mean, I would have so many, well, because the bearded dragons, they eat, certain kinds of greens and veggies and mealworms. And the mealworms you can order, like I've said before, hundreds, thousands at a time. And I think the shipping costs more than the bugs. And they ship them right here. You don't have to go anywhere. Because I don't feed crickets. Crickets are disgusting. But, I can just order everything online, get it right at the post office. No big deal. Everything else I have, because you get it at the grocery store and it's cheap. To feed them is cheap. You just buy a big bag of greens and, a squash and, stuff like that. You can get under $1 and it'll last them a month. You get them a couple different things. God, this is an interesting video. How can I make it more interesting? No, we don't have any snow. Oh, yeah, we do. It snowed overnight. That's right. See, it's so cold out. It's like 6 degrees. And I walk outside and I don't even feel it. I don't even notice it. But now if we're out in the wind, I notice that. But God, it's fucking irritating me. Well, I went to the eye doctor last week or the week before, late last week. I don't know. I went to the doctor not too long ago, eye doctor. And I talked to him about my eyes because they water all the time. And he said it's their self-defense, like against dust and against, pollen, the sun. Oh my God, the sun makes them water like crazy. And I'm just a big baby. And I look like I'm crying all the time. But I don't know. He's downstairs watching behind his eyelids. But yeah, today was really weird. We were coming home and I'm like, I don't feel right. And he's like, well, do you want me to turn around? And I go, I don't want to go to the fucking doctor. There's nothing wrong with me. Well, there's a lot wrong with me, but not anything that, don't take me to the doctor. I can breathe. I can walk for the most part. I can flip people off. I can, you know, I can function. I don't need to go to the doctor. Um, I need to go to the doctor for my eczema. Not eczema. Eczema. Um, now I can't even think of what that's called. That's swelling in my legs. Edema. And then you can go angina. That has to do with your heart. But you know what other people call it. I'm going to repeat it because it's hilarious. It's not a funny condition. I'm just saying the word. And I called the gas company yesterday, and I talked to the representative for 2 hours. I was entertaining her. It was funny as shit. Oh my God. Her and I had a good time. 2 hours. She said her supervisor started to email her and tell her that she's been on the phone long enough. And I said, well, just tell them that you had somebody on the phone that just couldn't understand their bill. And you were trying to explain it to them, and they just weren't getting it. We spent like 5 minutes talking about my bill. And the rest of the time, and then she wanted me to do a survey about her. And I accidentally hung up before I got to do the survey. I was so mad. And because I told her, I said, well, if I do a survey on you, you should have to do a survey on me. I think that's only fair. It's just, that would be fun. Her and I, if we get together, oh my God, we have such a blast. But she lives pretty down south, a lot more south than me. But I don't know, like I said in one of my other videos, write in my comments of some ideas that, you maybe are curious, a mental illness you're curious about. Oh my God, see, I told you my eyes water just because they do. It drives me nuts. But, give me some ideas on what you want to know about, topics that would interest you, topics that you may be confused about. Maybe you were just diagnosed with bipolar or borderline personality disorder or IBS, which really does suck. I am not laughing. I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. I'm laughing because I mentioned it. I don't know. I'd like to know. I need some feedback here, people. Come on. Throw me a bone. Are you fucking kidding me? I told you. That means my beans are done. I'm scared. For real. Now I gotta set it because the one pot that I'm using doesn't have the where the Instant Pot, it's done and it goes from 0 and it goes back up, counts back up, and then got hair, and then let's put it on stopwatch. Start. Yeah, we'll put it on stopwatch. So it can still cook down by itself. It doesn't need to be like immediately tended to. But anyway, I really like my pressure cookers. You don't really have to, you really don't make a lot of dirty dishes unless you ask David. He might have, because I have to use like 5 spoons to make one dish, stuff like that. He might disagree. I'm scared to open it though, so I'm kind of stalling. I'm a total procrastinator. Try smiling, saying that at the same time. It's hard. I don't want to go down there and open it up and see. They're probably not done. They only cook for an hour. On the other hand, pressure cooker can cook a roast in an hour. It turns out tender like butter. I mean, it is the most, I don't like the crock pots because every time I use them, the shit turns black. You get this crusty black crap, and I hate that. You don't get that with the pressure cookers. Everything gets done pretty good. I think I've only had 2 bad dishes, and I've been pressure cooking for, I think, almost a year now. And there was a time where every single night I would use my pressure cooker, or 2, or 3, because I have 4. I have 3 6-quart and a 3-quart. Oh, I was going to make my veggies. I still can make my veggies. I bought a bag of cauliflower, broccoli, and carrots, and I was going to make them in my little pressure cooker. But I kind of want to save those for a snack. Snack. I'm all about snacks. Wonder how long I'm into this. Probably too fucking long. I could sit here all night and just babble. It's part of the borderline. You just get on a roll and find stuff to talk. That's just it. You discover stuff to talk about. I can talk about anything. Medicine, animals, shopping, certain websites. I don't wear makeup. I tried that. I look like an idiot more than normal. Yeah, I can come up with stuff to talk about. I don't really have a problem with that. I used to be sociable. Oh, I got 2 really good bottles of wine, and I'm not supposed to be drinking, but they don't do anything. I probably could drink the whole bottle and it wouldn't do anything. David says he drank that 1 glass and he had a buzz. I was just like, you did what? I got one. It's strawberry, and it's real light. It's sweet. It's really good. And I saw that as a substitute, if they didn't have it, I could get blueberry. So I'm like, I'm going to go back, and I got the strawberry, and I'm going to get the blueberry. So I'm going to try the blueberry. And it's cheap Walmart wine. I had this huge jug once of wine. I believe it was wine. I kept it down in my cupboard, and every so often I would take it out and pour myself a glass, and that shit lasted me a long time. It was a huge jug. It was cheap wine. I don't like that dry, sour. Bleh. I don't like wine. Unless it tastes like wine coolers. That's what they call liquid panty remover. But now you learn something new. I'll teach you about cow tipping next time. Because I have to get downstairs. I think I smell it. That's a good sign. I don't know. I only put 2 packets of ham flavoring in along with the ham. It's going to be interesting. I always taste it. And if it tastes okay, then I let David taste it. And then if it doesn't taste right to me, I'll make him taste it and I'll say, what's missing? Is it salt? See, he has to watch his salt. I have to have salt. So it's kind of hard to cook once in a while. But I'm like, or is it garlic? Is it onion? Is it pepper? Sometimes I'll use lemon pepper. Sometimes I'll use chili powder, taco seasoning. Oh, the one that's my favorite, I think, besides the queso. I like to use, I used to take chicken breasts and put them in a big pan, big 13 by 9 pan. And I'd lay chicken breast in, and I would take the bottle of Hidden Valley ranch dressing and just douse it, cover it up, throw it in the oven. Good enough, done. Delicious. And then I saw it, or I thought of it, and I'm like, instead of buying a bottle, because it takes up space, I know that they have packets that you can add. I don't know if you add mayo or I don't really know what you add to it. But so I'm going to get packets of the Hidden Valley ranch dressing, and it's the powder. So I think I took the beef tips last time, and they're just, it's beef stew meat. You get a big pack, and it's not that expensive. And I took that, and I sprinkled the Hidden Valley ranch dressing powder on it and mixed it up, put some seasoning in there, put it in my pressure cooker. Holy hell, was that good. Last time you know, last time I cooked in it, I believe, was for Christmas, and our ham wasn't great. It was really fatty. And I think I told you this already, but if you didn't watch the other video, you wouldn't know about it, so I can tell you again. So I had him cut it up into a bunch of pieces, this ham. And I did bake it in the oven, and it's just so fatty. So I had him cut it up, and I took 2 of my pressure cookers, and I divided up the ham, and then I took white northern beans or northern white beans, I'm not quite sure, threw it in there, threw my pressure cooker on. Oh my God, it was so good. I invent shit. I don't go by recipes. I mean, I did with the Fiesta macaroni and cheese because I needed to know how much water I needed to use for the noodles. Noodles suck making. I really suck at making noodles in there, but I keep trying. Once in a while, I'll get it. I made spaghetti-ish stuff in there once. Um, I bought some little bitty rings that I'm gonna try making uh, the macaroni and cheese, Fiesta macaroni and cheese, maybe. Or I bought some boneless chicken thighs. I can make some mock chicken noodle soup. And technically it'd be chicken noodle soup. I'll just have to figure out, oh, that's right, I do know how to make dumplings in there. Because with pressure cookers, you don't have to cook with the cover on. You can either use a regular pan cover, or you don't have to use a cover at all, actually. Because it gets hot, and shit boils. So anyway, I better get down there and cut this out. It's been fun for me. I hope you get a laugh out of some of it. I try. I don't have to try, but I do. Sorta. I could go on. So I'm not going to, but I hope that you have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow evening as well. Probably around the same time, so the train goes through and just irritates the fuck out of me. Whatever. It goes through here. I want to hijack it because it's Amazon, which I hate right now. I actually wrote to Jeff Bezos. It's Amazon, FedEx, UPS. It's good stuff. So have yourself a good evening. Keep warm, keep cool, keep awesome. Have a good night.